Hello, beautiful, and welcome to the Prosperous Womb. Today we are diving into Proverbs 29. It is day 29 of our 31-day journey seeking God's wisdom for our coaching businesses, so whatever business you're in. And we are almost at the end of this wisdom journey. And hopefully for most of us, it's just the beginning. It's the fertilizer that's going to support us to read a chapter of Proverbs every morning, every day, every month, every year. And wherever you are in your own Proverbs journey, in your wisdom journey, wherever you are in your coaching business, my prayer, my intention for the rest of this journey is that we use collectively the wisdom that we have co-created with God, that we have harnessed and midwifed, that we use that wisdom to create businesses that not just make money and profits, but share value and contribute something to the world through the gifts that God is sharing exclusively through our prosperous wombs. I would love to know how this journey has been for you so far in your personal life, your relationships, and your business. But most importantly, how are you growing and evolving and learning through this experience? Share in the comments below. And now let's dive into Proverbs 29, which I call the Vision Proverbs chapter. Before we get provision, before profits, before we set intentions, we need a vision. And in this chapter, we see that the vision is critical, and not just a vision, not just the vision of you, me, but a prophetic vision, God's vision for our lives, revealing the mystery, the love, everything that He's pushing through us, that we can deliver and contribute to the world. Let's dive in. Proverbs chapter 29. Solomon continues, "He that being reproved hardens his neck. He that being reproved often hardens his neck. He should suddenly be destroyed, and that without remedy. When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. But when the wicked rule, the people cry. Whosoever loves wisdom rejoices his father, and he that keeps company with harlots spends his substance. The king by judgment establishes the land, but he that receives gifts overthrows it. A man that flatters his neighbor spreads a net for his feet." That was Proverbs chapter 29, verses 1 through 5. So let's look at those. It says that when a ruler is kind, compassionate, and uses God's wisdom, the country and the people thrive. When a leader in her business is compassionate, is kind, is using God's wisdom, and is creating provision with God's vision, the employees thrive, the clients thrive, the business thrive, the systems and structures thrive. The leader does not become a bottleneck in her own business. So how are you being in your business? How are you running and growing your business? Maybe you have a team. How do you lead? What kind of leader are you? Whosoever loves wisdom rejoices his father. When we seek God's wisdom as leaders in our business, whether we're just self-leading or leading a team, everyone around us benefits from that. So our fathers may not be the one rejoicing, but everyone rejoices when we make better decisions and create more inspiring environments that can cultivate the life, the business, the relationships, and the health that we choose for ourselves and our family and our friends and our clients, co-create with our clients in this lifetime. Continue with verse 6. "In the transgression of an evil man there is a snare, but the righteous doth sing and rejoice. The righteous consider the cause of the poor, but the wicked regard not to know it." The wicked regard not to know it. So again, wise women consider everyone. They're fair, they're generous, they're kind, and they're compassionate. They lead from the heart with courage and with wisdom. How are you being generous in your business with your time, with your money, with your resources, with your gifts, with your creativity, with your talents? How are you being generous in your house of worship, with your family, with your relationships, with your clients, and your friends? How are you being generous while still creating those loving boundaries that allow you to always consistently come from a place of overflow and not overwhelm? Continuing on. If a wise man contends with a foolish man, whether he rage or laugh, there is no rest. Just stay away from foolish men. Let's keep the foolish decisions away. That's why we're doing this work. Okay, no judgment, no good or bad or right or wrong. We just seek wisdom. It's easier that way. It's better that we'll make better decisions. We live longer, we're happier, and we're healthier with wiser decisions. The bloodthirsty hate the upright, but the just seek his soul. So not everybody's going to like you when you don't associate with the elements or parts of things they do that you don't consider wise. And the more you get into the word, the more you seek God's wisdom, the less tolerance you're going to have for some BS that you might have been into before. I know that is true for me. The more I come closer to God, the more I seek his wisdom to do the work in the world, the less appetite I have for things that don't lead me down a better path. So look for yourself and notice, where's that happening in your life right now? Who is going away from you? Who is coming towards you? What clients are you attracting? Which clients are you repelling? Because life changes dramatically as you go through this journey. A fool utters all his mind, but a wise man keeps it in until afterward. Self-control. Yes, we're all brilliant. Yes, we're all smart. Yes, we all have opinions. And yes, we want to be heard and seen and known and understood. And wisdom zips it, thinks about it, and understands how to say the thing in a way that brings the highest good for all involved. And wisdom doesn't just react. Wisdom responds from a place of love, a place of gratitude, a place of compassion and generosity and kindness. Wisdom speaks the truth gently. That's how we're heard and understood. That's how it lands to create the growth. Our words are seed, and what comes out of us lands in a way that either grows or destroys. And wise people know how to zip it and release it at the best time. Okay? If a ruler listens to lies, all his servants are wicked. The poor and the deceitful man meet together, and the Lord lightens both their eyes. The king shall faithfully judge the poor. The king that faithfully judges the poor, his throne shall be established forever. It's just operating from a place of fairness and justice. Are you being fair in your business, in your interactions with people? How are you being in the world? Not just in your business. How we'll be in our business is how we'll be everywhere. The rod and reproof give wisdom, but a child left to himself brings his mother to shame. When the wicked are multiplied, transgression increases, but the righteous shall see their fall. You know, it's funny. My daughter and I have been going through this particular journey over this 31 days together, and every time we get to a part that talks about the rod or reproof or hitting a child or corporal punishment, she cringes and she's like, "Mom, that's in the Bible?" Yeah, it is. But the bottom line is that let's just use wisdom with our families, our children, and with ourselves. Because if we just do what we want to do and just do what the flesh wants to do, we all know how that goes. So it's not just about children, it's about us. We're children of God. And seeking his wisdom supports us to make better decisions and create better environments and conditions that support where we're going with his vision, our mission, and our assignment. Correct thy son, and he shall give thee rest. Yea, he shall give delight unto thy soul. Again, it's not just about correcting our children. When we seek wise counsel and get that good advice, that leadership, that wisdom, we're able to make decisions that support us to rise and not fall. So we all rest when we make better decisions. We all rest when the people around us are fully supported by God's wisdom. It's a together thing. It's an and all thing. It's all inclusive. God's love is all inclusive. God's wisdom is all inclusive. And our work here is to support his kingdom, to be sure that we all enjoy the benefits of the love and the wisdom that God has for all of us. Proverbs 29:18 is probably one of the verses that I hear the most, especially in the coaching industry too, especially when it comes to life purpose and vision and vision boarding and all this stuff. It's, where there is no vision, the people perish, but he that keeps the law, happy is he. Vision in anything is critical to the end result, to the ROI, to the profits, to a coaching business. And how does vision show up? It's God leading us and guiding us in our imagination. God's vision for our provision shows up in our imagination, in our creativity, in our dreams, in our intuition, in our journaling, in our sketching, in our drawing, in everything. Okay? So we create based on our imagination. Imagination is one of the most important things. When people say to me, well, I'm not a creative person. Of course you are, because God is creative and you made in his image, so you are. So how do you draw? What do you dream? How do you trust your intuition? That is God's prophetic vision for your provision in your business, in your life, and in your relationships. It's not something where you sit on a meditation pillow for 5 hours and wait for God to send a word. It's basically using your dreams, your imagination, your intuition, and tapping into all the resources that God has already put inside of you, plugging into those and pulling out the gifts that he needs you to share with the world in your business, with your high-ticket coaching offers, or any high-ticket potent body of work that you give birth to for the world. So vision comes before provision. It impacts your profit. It impacts the value you share in the world. It impacts what contribution you make in the world. It impacts how you step into your assignment, and it impacts every single how. So when people say to me, well, how do I do this, or how? I say, well, what did God say when he asked him? What was the vision for this provision? All right. A servant will not be corrected by words, for though he understand, he will not answer. Okay? Seest thou a man that is hasty in his words? There is more hope for a fool than for him. Again, zip it. Be thoughtful. Think about things. Think about the impact of what you're about to say or do. Think about how it's going to land, and think about what outcome do you want from this conversation, from this situation, and how will it grow or diminish the people that are about to hear it? How could you be so that you can deliver it in the way that God is expressing it through you? This is why it's important to tap into our own power sources and not go looking for another blueprint to say the thing that God has already expressed through you and manipulate God's words based on somebody else's formula. Trust what's coming through, that it is the truth, that it is whole, it is kind, and it is complete. And from that place, say the thing to the person, to the client, without holding back for fear of reprimand or what will they think about me or judgment. Remember who you are and be that person in your coaching business or your life, your relationship, your business, and when it comes to your health. He that delicately brings up his servant from child, an angry man he that delicately brings up his servant from a child shall have him become his son at the length. An angry man stirs up strife, and a furious man abounds in transgression. A man's pride shall bring him low, but honor shall uphold the humble in spirit. Again, this is about arrogance, you know. Everyone is brilliant. Everyone is smart. What always makes me laugh is that I think there's some parts of life where we forget that God is in all of us. And none of us are separate from God. And from that space, we're all equal. There's nothing about you that's different from me other than how you think and maybe your bank account. And because when you have wisdom, you realize that what's important is what God is through you. The money, the house, the shoes, whatever don't count. We're all God's children, period. God is God in all of us, through all of us. And from that place, we all have that humility of knowing that, wow, we have the most awesome presence inside of us. We're all the same, period. Whosoever is partnered with a thief hates his own soul. He hears cursing and betrays it not. You know, let the Holy Spirit guide and determine our walk in this world so that we partner with people or organizations that uplift rather than diminish. The fear of man brings a snare, but whosoever puts his trust in God shall be safe. Who are you trusting? Is it your coach, your mentor, your strategist, your consultant, your teacher, your husband? Who are you trusting? When we start to put our trust in people, we also start to people please. We do that. It's because, you know, when you put your trust in God, you start to obey God. When you put your trust in man, you start to please man. And then when we please God, we cannot please man. I mean, when we please man, we cannot please God. Okay? It's just, I know in coaching it's and all, but with God, it's God or. Okay? So you can either please man or you can please God, because when you please God, you're going to please all the men and women and children that need to be part of that provision. If everyone loves you, if everyone in the world loves you, you're out of integrity with your mission and your assignment. It means you haven't stood for something. It means that you are afraid to take a stand for the thing that God has sent you here to do. And you want everyone to like you so you don't rock the boat. You are basically being a donkey to everyone. Are you coaching everyone? God didn't send you here to coach everyone. You're brilliant. You're amazing. You have a million gifts. So does everybody else. But God has actually put specific gifts in you for a specific group of people who need what you have. And you spit in God's face when you say, well, I'm multi-passionate. Well, who isn't, honey? Who isn't? So identify who you're here for. What are you here to do? And know that nobody's opinion, thoughts, words, or judgment about you matter. The only two things that matter are what God says about you and how you receive what he says about you. That's all that matters in this lifetime. Not what your mother says, not what your sister says, not what your client says, not what your guru on Instagram is spewing out there every day on social media. It's only what God says about you that matters. And he says you're a child of the Most High God. You're brilliant, you're amazing. You're here for all the abundance that he has for you. You're wealthy, you're prosperous, you're amazing. And you can do all things through his son Christ who strengthens you, because he is in you, the hope of his glory. Trust in God. Verses 26 and 27. Many seek the ruler's favor, but every man's judgment comes from God. An unjust man is an abomination to the just, and he that is upright in the way is an abomination to the wicked. And I know I keep doing this when I say God. It's habit, but God is inside of us. We all know that. And he's all outside of us. He's everywhere. So that's why I do this, because God is everywhere. It's God. So trust God. Proverbs 26, what I take away from it is that my vision from God, my prophetic vision, is the basis for my provision in my life, business, and relationships, and in my health. And that the only person I need to ever trust or please is God, because when I please God, I please everyone else that matters. When I please the people that I think matter, I'm being out of integrity. And if everyone likes me and everyone always agrees with me, I am out of integrity with my assignment. Let me know how this lands for you. It's been good having you.